What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. We got a lit show for you tonight with an elite panel. Big up to every single one of you that's in the building. Big up to all of our amazing panel here. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and you're following every single one of these guys. They all put out brilliant content, so go and show them some love. We got Jez back in the house. Jez, Arsenal since 1967. Bruv, how are you, mate? You good?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to getting back to some proper football on Saturday. I'm going down to Southampton for that game. Let's hope we can get it over the line. And big up to everybody, Brandon, Positive Dan, Shano and Kenny, and yourself, Dan, of course.
Big up, Jez. Brandon, international football is back. I'm bored of it already. I hate it. But if I'm honest with you, I've taken myself away from football as a whole, man, and just enjoyed it a little bit. I know Kenny Ken disagrees and he thinks that international football's the best thing since sliced bread, but I don't agree at all. Brandon, talk to me.
I'm in the same camp as you, Dan. I ain't watched any of it, mate, to be honest with you. I've obviously seen the results and that, but that's typical international friendly, isn't it? You know, I think England actually probably play worse football than Arsenal, which is pretty hard to do.
Oh, they definitely do, man. I watch both England games and it's a shambles, bro. Both of them are. But Kenny, I messaged you, Kenny. Italy are out again, mate. I mean, that is quite incredible now. 3 World Cups without Italy. What is going on, Kenny?
Well, yeah, the World Cup without Italy is just unthinkable. If you go back to 20 years, they won it on penalties against France, and you'd have thought, right, that's Italian football set up. But in between then, they had the betting scandal, the Calciopoli, and they never recovered from that. But, you know, in terms of international football, I always said you can't have the European Championships, the AFCON, you know, the Copa America, you know, the World Cup without World Cup qualifying matches and, you know, some sort of friendly. So it is what it is. We knew what it was before every season. We know there's going to be an international break. We know that players have to play for their country. I'm glad Positive Dan's here for the basis is that told you, didn't I, mate? Told you I was taller, didn't I? I proved it.
I don't know about that. I don't know if you did, Ken.
Oh, come on, mate. I said, made an innocuous remark that I was taller than you. You weren't having it. But
it was quite funny. It was quite funny, I must admit.
That means you're 6'2" then.
As long as I'm taller than you, mate.
It was close. It was close, though. I can say, like, I can definitely say you're both taller than me. I'm only 5'10", but you were. It was quite close. It was quite close. Shano, how you doing, Shane? You good, bruv?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, glad to be on. I'm with Kenny. I love international football, especially World Cups. I'm more World Cup obsessed. Anything to do with them. That FIFA Plus app, if people don't have it, it's free. You can just watch back any games you want. And no, I'm a big international fan. Yeah, the friendlies can be a bit tedious. They can be a bit tedious, but Ireland were obviously playing, got knocked out on penalties. 4 days after Arsenal lost the final? It was one of the worst weeks of football I've had in a long time. But all good. I literally just before we came on, I got in time to get Tony Adams' new book signed by him. It was sort of a race to get in for the few that he has. So I'll have that coming now in a week as well. Stick it up next to me, Tony Adams' jersey, and I'll be good to go. But no, glad to be on. And big up to everybody on the panel. Absolute legends.
Come on, man. Positive Dan, good to see you at Wembley. Unfortunately, funny, Dan? Not the best result. Sorry, go on.
Do you know what's funny, Dan? The first thing I was going to say to you is, listen, can you give Stricto a ring and get him on here, please? Because I thought, I'm on my own here, bro. What's going on? I'm going to get
man, I tried a few tonight. There's no D, there's no Christian. There's a few people on about, man. So I was like, how am I going to balance this panel out? So I got you and Stricto, man, to do so.
I got you, bro.
Yeah, Stricto will have you, man. Stricto will have you. How are you, Dan, though? You good, yeah?
Well, look, I'm with Shane in it because, you know, I support Ireland and obviously went to Wembley, lost the cup final. Watched the game with my dad, Ireland, and yeah, still hurting over that game now, to be honest, because what hurts even more is that I went and I didn't watch it, but I saw that Czech Republic beat who was it, the Denmark on penalties. So Ireland at home to Denmark, I think they would have had a massive chance to go through to the first World Cup since 2002. So yeah, horrible week with the Carabao Cup final and then that as well. So yeah, it's not been good. Listen, the friendlies, I can't stand them. You know, any of the friendlies, there's nothing in them. There were some good games. Victor Gyokeres, that was probably the brightest part of it, scoring a hat-trick and then scoring a crucial goal. to send his nation to the World Cup. But yeah, it's been a horrible week for me football wise.
Yeah, man, it hasn't been good. I can't lie. It's been a madness. I literally left Wembley and I flew to Morocco and got some sunshine because I just didn't want to talk
I
about
see it
football.
on the Instagram, Dan. I see it.
Bruv, I just honestly, people said I was running away. Yeah, they're kind of right. I was running away. I was hoping to sun it up in the sunshine and enjoy a win, it's a trophy, but I'm still waiting, man. I'm still waiting.
Do you know what, Dan? I went Centre Parks the next day, and it was really. That's why I watched the game over there as well. It was really good as well to just kind of get away.
I
from
love
everything.
Centre Parks. Centre Parks is quality, man. I absolutely
stuff,
love it, bro. So good, man. Yeah, it's got very expensive, mind you, now, but it's very, very good.
You know what, Dan? Because if I'd have went this week in half term, it would have been $2,000 more. Imagine that.
Oh, jeez, I can't believe it's that much money, man. And literally, it's like it's only about an hour from me. Like, I feel like, well, how can I spend that much money and be like an hour down the road? It's crazy, man. But listen, Stricto, big up to you, my bro. Appreciate you jumping on. Let me get into the questions, man. I'm going to start with you, Strict, and then we get straight because I wanted to ask this question. We're seeing quite a lot of this guy in the last couple of games, and Gyokeres has been scoring. But our question is this: is he different for club over country? Now, the reason I've asked this is because actually his record in 2026 is one of the best, if not the best, in Europe for scoring goals. And a lot of people have spoken about his performances at Arsenal, and this season he's not been great. Some have even called him a flop. But he is scoring goals. Do you think he's a different Gyokeres for Sweden than he is for Arsenal? Because a lot of people have been speaking about this in the last couple of games, saying that it's a system issue at Arsenal and that our style, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't really suit a prolific number 9, and Arteta doesn't want that. He wants a false 9. Whereas for Sweden, Gyokeres got a hat-trick the other night and scored last night, I believe, the winner in the last minute again. So are we seeing a different Victor Gyokeres just in general, or do you think there is a quite a different Victor Gyokeres between club and country, bruv?
I think if you if you analyze it, of course there's going to be a difference because in both teams have different sets of expectations. First season in England, so there's an expectation that comes with that. You know, he was labelled the missing piece, also an expectation that comes with that. And I don't think that expectation exists with Sweden. Now, if you look at his goals, I can't remember who I was talking to about the goals he scored. Igal, me and Igal was talking about it. If you look at his goals, they're not much. He hasn't the kind of goals he scored aren't exactly different to the type of goals he scored for Arsenal. For instance, the hat-trick goals he scored, I think the only one that I was actually quite impressed with was the first one, because I've always complained about his movement. You know, I think sometimes like he doesn't move enough in the box. Sometimes balls come into the box, he's nowhere to be found, you know. And I think his first goal was a fantastic goal, and that's how I would like him to be for Arsenal. Just be busy in and around that area, because for sure, Saka's going to put the ball in there. Saka's going to cut it back, or Trossard's going to cut it back. But to answer your question, I think maybe the most defining part of that is the goals aren't particularly different. However, they seem more consistent in a Swedish shirt than they are for Arsenal. But of course, that's going to be the case because there's less there's less games playing for Sweden. Whereas at Arsenal, you're playing you should be playing 30 odd games. Do you understand? But overall, I just think it's the expectations that is different. And I think when you have heavy expectation that is bestowed on you in your first season, you're going to struggle in some parts. And he's done well overall if you look at, you know, his record, like you said earlier. But I don't think for me it's more so a system issue like that. I think it's a more, like I said, getting busy. You know, for instance, what game was it we played? What game was it we played? And he got a couple of chances, and a couple of times he just wasn't there. But I do get when people, talk about like the whole system stuff. Like, you know, sometimes he gets balls out wide to him. Even in Sweden, I see the ball going out wide to him as well. But I just think overall, it's just an expectation thing. Like that's what I think.
I think it's a system issue for sure, but I don't think it's one that Arteta isn't aware of. I think it's one that Arteta wants, if I'm honest. I don't think Arteta wants this prolific number 9. I really don't. And I look at Gyokeres, whether you believe he is a prolific number 9 or not, I do think that there's no denying that at Sporting Lisbon and at Sweden, he does look a hell of a lot more free-flowing somehow, and it does look a lot more in behind and running at players and stuff. But I don't know. I don't know what you think, Dan.
Yeah, look, Premier League football is totally different to international football, and also he's been playing for Sweden for a very long time now, Victor Gyokeres. And also, I think they played against Ukraine and Poland, so I think they're a lot easier than most Premier League games. And Isak's obviously not there, so he's the main man. So I think that comes into it. But there's no doubt that, of course, style of play also comes into it as well. You know, Arsenal are playing in a certain way where it's just get over the line, win the games at whatever cost. That's the sort of siege mentality that Arteta seems to be going with this season. However, he's still our top goal scorer. He's still got 16 goals. If he gets another 4 goals, which I fancy him to do, he'll still be on 20 goals. You look at some of the lower teams. I think he scored against Burnley. He scored, 3 against Leeds. He scored 2 against Spurs. So he is scoring against the lower level sort of teams. He's just not really scoring against the big teams. The only big team I can think of would be Atletico Madrid in the Champions League and Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. But I do feel like there's a big Victor Gyokeres moment coming for Arsenal. I don't know why. He does have that X factor about him. He might not be the most easy on the eye, but he's got something for sure. And I do feel like there could be a big Victor Gyokeres moment coming, whether it be in a Champions League quarter-final, semi-final, or in a game that possibly clinches us the league title. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've watched that video and I saw the celebration. I mean, how epic was that? The whole crowd behind him with his nation, like that, and everyone doing that. I would love to see that at the Emirates. I just feel like with all of these Arsenal players, you know, but I feel like he's got that X factor. But I feel like Bukayo Saka, who's had a really poor season by his standards, there's still time for him to have a big moment for Arsenal. With these games now, these next games, FA Cup quarter-final, Southampton, quarter-final against Sporting Lisbon, massive game against Bournemouth, the biggest of the lot, 12:30 at the Emirates. We're going to need people to step up. Martin Odegaard, who we've all criticised, could still have a big role to play this season if he goes and scores a winner or puts a man of the match performance in. There's so much to play for right now. Like, to be an Arsenal fan right now in this position so far in all of these competitions, so ahead in the Premier League. It's a great time to be an Arsenal fan. And I just think these players, they've just got to grab it. They've got to grab it, take their opportunities. And I think Victor Gyokeres, I still think he's gonna score some big goals in these next coming games. If we get to a Champions League final, it could be up to 14, 15 games. You know, there's 7 finals. Everyone keeps saying it's 7 finals in the league. If he goes and gets even 3 goals, and one of them is an important goal, that goal against Everton, he might have not played that well in that game when he come on. He scores the goal. If it wasn't for Daumann, obviously because Daumann's 16, he got all of the plaudits. But the winning goal was Victor Gyokeres. So that was a massive moment for him. So he's had that moment and he's just gone and dragged his nation to a World Cup. So it bodes well for us, and it gives me confidence that Victor Gyokeres could do something special. And there are a lot of people that said to me, we'll see the best of him next year. Dan, who does it on my show. And I was like, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure we will. And perhaps maybe these people are right in that thinking. We may see a better Victor Gyokeres than next season.
Look, I hope that we do see a Victor Gyokeres this season as well as next season. I can't help but, and I'll put this out to the other 4 panelists who haven't spoken yet. I don't mind who comes in on this. I understand what Dan's saying in terms of we want to see Gyokeres. I'd love to see Odegaard, and we're talking about these players. I can't help but think that the one I'm most excited in seeing in the last few games of this season is actually a 16-year-old. Now, I never thought I'd be saying that, but he's the one that I was looking at bringing on in the cup final to try and do something.
Same for Barcelona, though, isn't it, Dan? You know,
same with Barcelona. It is the same with Barcelona. I mean, I see Max Daumann's goal yesterday, unbelievable from his own half. You know, the guy's a ridiculous talent. Miles Lewis-Skelly deserves a mention. He was unbelievable last night for England under 21s. So I'm looking at some of the players from the bench thinking some of these youngsters might be the ones I'm looking at as opposed to the Odegaards and maybe the Kai Havertz and, you know, the Victor Gyokeres at this stage. But I don't know what the other panelists think of that, man. I don't mind who comes in, any of you.
Yeah, but I just want to come in on the Gyokeres thing and then I move on to that. For me, look, if we had seen a 9 in the last 6 years have a blitzing season where they're banging them in, I'd be more likely to lean towards it not being a system problem. But we've never had that ever. Jesus wasn't that guy. Havertz is 15 goals a season if you're lucky in the league. And when we were going around the panel when everybody was giddy on this show, actually in the summer when we had signed them, and people were calling out 30 league goals and 25 league goals and stuff like that. Me and DJB said under this system he'd do well, and we said in a complimentary way to get 15 league goals, and everybody laughed. But it is a system. Like before the last couple of games, he had gone 7 games without a shot on target, right? And he had started most of them. That cannot be not a system problem, because if he's getting hat tricks for Sweden, regardless of the opposition, regardless of the standard, if you want to say, or the style of play that comes, he's having more shots in one game than he's having in 10, 15 games for Arsenal. And that sounds outrageous, but it's a fact. So for me, it is assist. He's a momentum player. If he gets a goal, give him the ball. The next time you get it, give him the ball as quick as possible, because he that's the way he's like Andy Cole. He go through massive purple patches if you keep feeding him. And I kind of feel for him, but it's not just him. Whoever we put up front, they're always told to drop deep, to go anywhere but up front. So for me, it certainly is it definitely is and I'm with you, Dan. I think that Arteta's just not fond of a goal scorer 9. If we go on to win the league and we don't have any top scorers in the top 10 or the top 5, I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less if we don't have a Golden Boot winner, or we've had Golden Boot winners and finished 10th before with Ian Wright. Like, so it's not that, it's not that important to me, those little statistics. But if you're going to play this system where you will not feed a number 9, well, then you better win the league. Because if people say like Stricto was saying about the expectation, and I know Haaland's different breed to everybody else, but he came in with the expectation of, well, this is who will get us over the line in the Champions League, and he did. You know what I mean? That season. Well, I know he's a different level. Haaland's a different beast to everybody else. But with Gyokeres, I kind of feel for him. But I think next season he'll gradually get confidence. And I think, like you said, this calendar year he's been up there with some of the best around numbers wise. And as for the whole Dowman thing, I don't know how much of him we'll see. I really don't. I felt really let down in the final, because when we beat Everton, Dan put up a post, and I said, listen, Arteta got it right. He brought on Dowman, he rolled the dice, he took off a defensive midfielder. This is the stuff we want. As Kenny would say, he put his nuts on the table. But when I was talking about it the next day, I was complimenting him, and I said, but if he goes back to type the next time we need it doesn't mean anything really. And then in the final, he did it, because coming into the last kick of that game, we still had 4 at the back. Like, he still had to put Declan Rice at right back, and it's like, just roll the dice, just go for it. And it's that little bit of his thinking of, I don't want to lose 3-0 because I'll have more questions. You just roll the dice, mate. We won't be mad at you. If you roll the dice, if you throw everybody forward and you have 8 players in their box and they break away and score to make it 3-0, we won't be mad at you. We'll be proud that you went for it. Do you know what I mean? So there is those little bits. So that's why I worry for Dowman, for Lewis Skelly and the like. Will he roll the dice with them? Because normally when it comes to it, at that crunch moment, like PSG in the semi-final last season, when we were so just roll the dice, and he had Wanyeri on the bench, who was one of our most informed players, and instead of bringing him on, throwing him on for the last 20 minutes, he brought on Tierney, and you just go, oh man, just go for it, because we're losing anyway. So with Dowman, I do fear for that. I'd love to see him play good minutes against Southampton. I'd love to see him come off the bench in a lot of games. I didn't want him to start that final, by the way, Dowman. I thought that would have been insane to start him, because imagine he made a mistake or something that led to a goal at that age. Something like that can haunt you, And
you like to see him come on though, Shane?
Oh, I wanted him on. That's the point. No, definitely bring him on.
Yeah.
Like with half an hour left, bring him on. Just throw everything. That's what I was saying. Once when they not half an hour, 20. Once they went 2-0 up, throw him on, because we weren't creating anything. Throw him on. I just didn't want to start him. But from now on to the end of the season, if we're losing or drawing or we need a goal, I want him coming on every time. You know, because he has that X factor about him. Like Dan said about Gyokeres, is the same thing.
Earlier in the season, when we was at Anfield, I think the first game of the season, and we were losing, and did he take Saka off and brought on Dalman? Or was it? No, it was Madueke he took off and brought on Dalman. And Dalman didn't really impress that much. And I get it. It's Anfield. So it wasn't first game of the season. It's Anfield. It's a massive game. The eyes of the world. But I think sometimes, Arteta does do these things. You know, like Nwaneri was on the bench. I would have more been inclined to put Nwaneri, who probably had a bit more experience in that time than Darman did at the time. But he put, as you said, Ken said, put the nuts on the table.
He likes his records so strict, though, doesn't he? Arteta, he likes to break those records.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is like at that point, just going on what you're saying, like you want to see him be brave. But I think there are times when he has done that and it hasn't come off, and times when he does do that and it comes off. But of course, we will only talk about the times that it comes off. I think that was a massive call to take off Madueke, who in my opinion was having an all right game against Gyokeres, and then brings on Dalman, and that never paid off. So I'm just saying, I'm just adding that to the balance of what Arteta has been so-called brave.
Yeah, no, look, I'm with you, and I know the other lads want to come in. It's just for me, when you're the best team or you're meant to be going for leagues, I think you should be brave 90% of the time. That's just me personally. I just think throw everything at it. If you're drawing or losing, Ferguson said that before. If you're 1-0 down, just throw a load of forwards on. What they have to start bringing on defenders to combat it. You may as well, and that's why he scored all the time. But I'll leave it at that. I know being hogging the mic.
There's no doubt though he should have came on in the final. I think everyone can agree on that. He should have came on.
I think that's fair. I think that's the absolute bare minimum I'd expect it. When that Everton thing happened, I really thought, here we go. Let's now see this in most games. I want to see 10, 15 minutes bare minimum of Max Darwin in every game now. Not like if you're 4-5-0 up, you might not need it or you want to risk it. But for me, if you need a little bit of spark, which I think we needed in that game, we needed anything in that game. It was a shambolic final. I don't want to go back to it really, but it was a shambolic final. That's how it is. We were absolutely embarrassing.
Dan,
so go on, Jez.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
No, don't make.
Look, I can't speak about Gyokeres playing for Sweden. I haven't watched it. So I can't comment on that at all, right? The one thing I will say about Gyokeres, I had great ambitions for him, and I actually predicted when we came, he'll get about 20 goals in all competitions. So he's not far off, and there's still more to come from that man. I believe that. I think there's more to come. My question is, right, and I don't think, in my opinion, he gets the service he deserves, and that causes problems. Because what I don't like seeing is when you've got a player of that ability, he has to come looking for the ball. Right? Now, there was a case in point, right? And I'm not a Havertz lover, right? I was the stupid idiot 3 years ago that said, "Oh, there's a player in there." Right? I actually made that statement. Right? I haven't seen it, but when Havertz was playing with Gyokeres, he was giving him service. He was finding him, and Gyokeres scored a few goals. Now, what does that tell you? My concern is that we're coming into the closing stature of the season now, and from what I'm told, he's played brilliantly for Sweden. I haven't seen it. I didn't witness it, so I can't comment on it. But the thing is, we're coming into difficult, dark days now. And we got a tough game away, Saturday night, 8 o'clock at Southampton, to keep us in potentially another trophy, getting back to Wembley again. And we've got some big injuries out. And that's not a good look for Arsenal right now. It's not good. So I'm not going to profess and say we should start Dalman, but I'd like him to come on at some point, because I think he can make a big difference. I think he can. He got us over the line against Everton and killed the game off. And but I still think there's more to come from this guy. I just don't think he's getting played and getting that service, man. I don't think he's getting it, and that causes issues.
Yeah, because when he does get chances, then Jesse's snatching at them because he's gone 2 or 3 games. So it's not like, remember Andy Cole wasn't getting called up by Glenn Hoddle because he needs too many chances to score. But once you got him going, he was brilliant. So if Gyokeres is going 2-3 games without a shot, when he gets one, he's going to snatch at it. It's natural. I always prefer to, and I will finish on this because I know the boys will come in. If you play pool or snooker or anything like that, and someone's won 2 or 3 frames in a row, and you get up to take your first shot in half an hour, you take it too quick, or you snatch at it. And it's kind of like that with him. I feel for him that when he does get a chance, he's snatching at it. He does need a lot of chances, but once he gets,
that is a good point. I've played snooker and pool, and I know exactly what you mean. That's a good analogy, actually. You sit there picking balls out of pockets for your mates, and the next shot you've got, you're a terrible at it.
You rush it.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right there, Shane, to be fair. Kenny, Brandon, lastly on this, before we get the next question up, what you saying, boys?
Go on, Kenny, because you always go last. Go on.
Look, international football and the Premiership's a lot different. Like we've had these discussions about Victor for a long time, where he's divided opinion. The fact is the stats are probably one of the biggest lies. He hasn't particularly worked out for Victor. I don't think he's suited to the way we played. I think you can say that the manager and the tactics don't suit him, but when you come to Arsenal, you got to fit into their way of playing. The tactics are never going to change. So next season, he's going to have to significantly improve in terms of his link-up play, if he can do that, and then make see the best of him. Because whatever happens, as long as Mikel's at the team, Mikel's not obliged to change the way we played before because of Victor. What Mikel can do though is to try and improve our midfield and get some more creativity in the side, because obviously Eze's injured. We don't know what's happened with Odegaard, but the injuries to Odegaard seem to vary. We don't know if it's his knee, his hamstring. We don't know what's going on there, but we can come to conclusions to say he's not going to be there next season. So whatever we do, if we keep Victor, we've got to get a creative spark in. And then, again, it's not just Victor that, needs to kind of improve. We need to get our Saka back. He needs to come back to the party. We definitely need a left winger, because Martinelli's not good enough, and neither is Trossard. So there's other aspects of the team that need improving.
Scored last night for Brazil, Martinelli.
But Martinelli. We've been on this road with Martinelli so many times. We've always had, is he gonna get better? And this season, his best performances have been from the bench. He came on against Man City, and the first thing he did was run the ball out of play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of says it all. In terms of the Max Dowman thing, if he starts matches, you can't play Max Dowman from the start and not expect him to do the kind of duties to the team that Saka would do, or Madueke would do, in terms of what they do off the ball. Doubling up on the sort of the attack and to give his partner in fullback protection. He's got to do all those sort of jobs. So playing for the bench is probably the best thing. But I still say, whether Max Dowman would have come on or not, by the time Man City got their first goal, it was game over. We weren't in the game. Completely dominating it. And the actual damage was done 15 minutes before they scored, when they were just attack after attack after attack. They got the first goal, then they got the second goal, and it was over. You know what I mean? The manager could either, try and get it back to 2-1, or do what we knew he would do, which is put men behind the ball and sort of make sure we don't lose, 3 or 4. So that's the situation. But all eyes now. It's all about. I know people are going to talk about Santos, but it's a league I want. It's all about Bournemouth and making sure that if Victor does get back to his best, we need some of those goals for Bournemouth in the league.
Quickly, Ken, can I just ask you quickly, and to the panel quickly, Dan? I know you're gonna.
Yeah, no, go on, bro.
If I asked you before the final, if one of the games you had to lose, Bournemouth or the City in the final, which one would you have said?
That's come on, just because it's all we've already lost it.
No, I just want to know.
Just because
the leagues.
No, because I said that the Bournemouth
Dan, the league's the alpha and the omega. We've worked our nuts off
exactly
for it.
Because I said that, and a lot of people said, "No, I'd rather lose to Bournemouth. We still got a chance." I said, "No way."
But you can't rewrite history. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. There was a lot of angry and upset fans. When we
even
lost
before the game, I said the Bournemouth game. I was more nervous going into that Everton game to the Emirates than I was going to Wembley.
Yeah, but you know what it was.
Wembley, We lost the
I
cup
hear
final.
what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but
had we not
when we-
beaten Everton, I wouldn't be confident that we were going to
Yeah,
go on and win the Premier League.
you're right. But let's not forget coming into the Man City game, the final. Man City lost home and away to Real Madrid. They dropped points against
West Ham, Forest.
and
Yeah, of
Forest.
course, and they lost to Real Madrid as well.
Even though we weren't playing great football, a lot of Arsenal fans went there for a lot of confidence, thinking we're going
Of
to,
course.
hoping we win, and thinking
Rightly
we're going to.
so as well.
But at the end of the day, what's given us that kind of advantage is that we've got a 9-point advantage and they got a game in hand. So we've got that significant cushion. Now, if we didn't have that significant cushion,
Of course.
perhaps, our thoughts and maybe mindset would be a bit different because we think,
But Ken, I'm like you. We're playing in a massive quarterfinal. It's not going to be easy, by the way. Southampton, they're up there in the Championship. Luckily, they've got a game on the Tuesday against Wrexham, who are 7th and they're 6th, I think. So right next to each other. So they might potentially rest players because their priority is probably going to be getting promoted. Whereas we've got a massive game.
We've got these power on
We've
Tuesday.
got Lisbon. So we've both got two games that are bigger, right? But what's in my head is Bournemouth. We've got a massive quarterfinal of the Champions League and an FA Cup. But in my mind, the game that I'm thinking about going to and being watching and being the game that I know I'm going to be more on the edge of my seat, heart in my mouth, is that Bournemouth game. But and again, if you said to me now, you could lose one of them. It's going to be.
It's the manner in which we lost it, though, Dan. It's the manner in which we lost it. I was on your channel about. I think it was
a disgraceful performance.
But before the second
on it as well.
Before the second leg of the Chelsea game, I was on with you, and you agreed with me. In fact, it was your point, and I agreed with you that winning that final could be the difference.
100%. And I still stick by it, 100%. And listen, if there was only a point or two in it, and we had lost that, I would not fancy us to win it because we have a 9-point lead and favourable games and the home games. I look at the home games in particular: Burnley, Fulham, Newcastle. Is there another one? Who's the other one?
Bournemouth.
Yeah, so that's them 4 home games. Our home form this season and in general is nothing short of sensational.
We only have to lose one game, though, really, apart from, say, City beating us. If City beat us and they win their other games, which I don't think City will win all their games, by the way. I don't think they will. But if I was, and I know Brandon's waiting to come in, if I was Guardiola after that final.
You were saying we're going to win the quad.
Jez, we've already had this discussion, mate, on my channel the other day.
But if I was Pep after that final,
done.
With
them
now. With them
being
out,
it's the treble. Listen, the thing is, it might not be a triple, it might not be a double, but as long as we win that Premier League, I'll be the happiest man. And what people are now saying is, we can't only win the Premier League. Jez, I know you had a few red wines on my channel the other day, but you still stand by that? If he only wins the Premier League, he's got to go.
Yeah, fuck off. Not enough.
That's what I'm saying. That's just, for me, that's something like a 10-year-old would say. So
even I'd give him another year, Jez. Come on.
Exactly.
Really, Jez? If he wins the league and that's it, you'd get rid of him, would you, Jez? Yeah?
He wants Real Madrid standards over here. Go on.
I want more. I want
22 years. After 22 years,
he's a third of those 22 years, though, Dan. You say it like he's just come into it. He's a third of those 22 years. His reign.
Yeah, of course, but still, regardless, the club has not won the Premier League for 22 years.
No, it's a long time.
It's the longest we've ever won without a league title. To win the Premier League is nothing short of a sensational achievement. It would be going up against Pep Guardiola, a man who's won 4 out of the last 5 titles, going up against arguably the greatest manager of all time. To go and beat him.
You don't want the Champions League and the FA Cup as well.
Of course I do. But if we don't win them and we win the Premier League, I'm not going to be any less happy. Of course, we all want all of the trophies, but come on, if we win a Premier League,
if we win the Premier League, right? Let's get into this one, right? Yeah. If we win the Premier League, right, and we get stuck with this clown for another 6 years, you'd be happy with that?
It depends. We'd have to, even like I agree with even what Shane says sometimes. We'd have to be doing well again in the next season. If we fall off a cliff next season after winning the league and we're like 4th or 5th, then no good. But there's no way in hell I see that happening. We've been in the top 2 now for the 4 years in a row. And if we do get over the line, I see us continuing in the top 2, potentially winning back-to-back league titles, something we've never done in the Premier League.
Hang on. So you just said, your statement, we win the Premier League and you're happy in the next few years to be top 2.
No, if we win the Premier League and then we finish second, I wouldn't sack him after finishing second. No.
Jesus Christ. Jesus.
No, if you win a Premier League and then you finish second, I think that you've got a year. Anyway,
so
that's another discussion for in a year's time. We'll see what happens.
Arsenal have never won a league title and then retained it. So you'd be happy for Arsenal to win a Premier League.
I wouldn't be happy. No one said I'd be happy.
Well, why would you keep
it? But for you to say that for a manager to come in and win us our first Premier League title in 22 years, and then you'd want to sack him is beyond ludicrous.
£1.3 million.
Is that all? 1.3 million?
Billion.
But listen, Chelsea have spent more in that time. Everyone says that like it's a big thing. Chelsea have spent more.
Our net spend is the highest, Dan. It's the highest.
Loads of teams, everyone spends.
No, but our net spend is higher than anyone.
Yeah, but what teams don't spend money that win trophies?
No, but net spend that's all that matters. Is what you make back. Because
regardless, net spend anything. What teams don't spend money that win trophies?
I know. I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? You have to spend money in this day and age if you want to win trophies.
But
Chelsea done it for how many years?
He hasn't won anything. He ain't won nothing.
Yeah, I know, but what we're talking hypothetically, if he wins the Premier League, you're saying that you want him to go.
What I'm saying to you is, if he wins the Premier League and we don't win the FA Cup and we don't win the Champions League, he has to go. It's not good enough.
But that is crazy to me. I think most sane people, that would be crazy to.
Big clubs do, mate. That's what big clubs do.
That is not what big clubs do.
Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern.
All right, you name me another manager that won the Premier League and then was sacked immediately after that. After the parade, win the Premier League, and then you know what, mate? Thanks, you're sacked. Name me one. Ranieri was sacked when he was in the relegation zone 9 months later. No one has ever been sacked
at Leicester. Only
Kenny Dalglish has won a Premier League. Ranieri's won one. Arsene Wenger has won one. Jose Mourinho, Conte, right? Mancini, Pep Guardiola. There's only about 10 managers that have won a Premier League. Slot. If he wins the Premier League, for me, anyone saying that, it shows that there's more of it's more an agenda thing. You want to be proven right. You're just not having it.
If we won the league and we were in Liverpool's, it's the exact same position.
You admitted you don't like him personally.
Oh no, yeah.
I said you'd give him another year.
You have to,
fair enough.
You have to, yeah.
Exactly.
But no. My point is that if it's taken this long, right, to get us to where we are and where everybody says we're one of the best teams in Europe now and stuff like that, for me, then you have to be held to those standards. You have to be held to Real Madrid standards, right? I'm just saying. But if we were to win the league and then have a Liverpool season next season, would you be like the slot outs now, or would you be saying, no, give him another one? If we were dropping out of the top 4 and we were, going out of competitions and it just looked like pandemonium, would you then want? I know this is a silly conversation because we haven't even finished.
No, but then yeah, listen, I probably would be like, maybe we could get someone else in
if it was a total fall off.
Yeah, especially if the football hadn't improved and it was, and it was looking dire. Then yeah, why not? But
no, one thing I'll never do is say, I think you're disgraced for saying that, because Jez's opinion is that he would need to win more than one trophy. Fair play to him. I disagree. I think we should if we win the league, he's fine. But that's up to Jez.
And I can't help how I feel. It hurts my head when someone says something like that.
Well, I've heard a lot of other people as well.
Why does it rattle you though, Dan? Why does it rattle you?
It's just for me. It doesn't make sense. We can all have our own opinions. Look at me and Shane, polar opposites. But at least he will say he doesn't like Arteta. It probably hurts him to say that, but at least he will say the common sense there has to be common sense, Dan. Whether you want someone in or out, all that, there has to be common sense. It's like us dropping out of the top 4 this year, and me still going, nah, man, let's keep Arteta. No,
but then it would have been common sense to sack him when we were bottom in 21-22. That would have been common sense to sack him then.
Listen,
after all the money he'd spent.
Listen, I probably would have been saying the same thing then, Shane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just think there has to be some common sense. And for me, I don't know if Jez is just sticking by that because he's on my channel before. He said if he wins the Premier League or the Champions League, he'll admit he got it wrong. And now he's saying it's both of them. So I don't know. No, I wouldn't expect that from Jez, to be honest, or anyone to say that. I can't understand how anyone would want to sack their manager after winning the Premier League. For me, that's too far gone into the whole, I don't like this man. I'm right. He's not good enough. So no matter what,
I have heard a lot of people say it though. No, and I mean a good few people have heard say that they just had enough of the football. They feel that because of the way other teams have fallen off, whatever the case may be, whatever way you want to view it, people view it differently. I think football as a whole has fallen off. It's nothing to do with Arsenal or with other teams. I think football just isn't as good as it used to be, but that's my age probably showing. But I do, because we're in the FA Cup and because of the run we've had in it and the run we've had in the League Cup where we haven't really met any, I can understand people. It's their opinion, you know what I mean? And it has happened. It doesn't happen in England. I've seen it with Madrid. I've seen it with, Barcelona and these teams. I'm not saying sack him, but if Jez feels that way, he's not the only one. I do know other people that do.
Look, obviously, at the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I can't help that. If I hear it, it makes me just think, I don't understand it at all, how you could want a Premier League winning manager to be sacked. I don't understand it. It sounds just
my Liverpool mate wanted Slot sacked after he won the league.
So
he saw what was coming.
Arteta wins the Premier League, and next year he stays on, and you're happy to come second.
No, I wouldn't. Listen, if anyone wanted him out after not winning nothing the year after, I would totally understand it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Totally. Even this year or any other year, even when I've gone on my show with Dan and he said he wants him out or anyone, I've understood. There's been days when I thought, oh, maybe these lot are right. Listen, Arteta's not. He's not It's not like I won't criticize him either. I've criticized him loads of times. With no manager's perfect, but my thing is, if you go and do something that special, even if you don't like the man or like his style of play or whatever it might be, whatever gripes you've got with him, you have to turn around and say, you know what? You've won the Premier League. He's going to give us, if we win it, it'll be one of the best days in all of our lives, I'm sure. And he would have helped do that. So the least you would think you would say is, yeah, of course, give him another year. Let's see if he can do it again. Surely, if you win a Premier League, you get the right to retain it. Surely, to try and retain it.
I personally agree with that. I do personally agree with you.
But I think what Jez's point is that he just doesn't believe that he'll no matter what happens this season that he'll continue on. He just sees it coming to an end with the injuries and all. I've talked to Jez about it before. It's just that he just doesn't believe that he's the man to take us forward, regardless of what happens.
You don't think we'll win?
I don't agree, but
before I bring Brandon in, because he's been sitting patiently.
Yeah,
sorry, Brandon. I promised I'll bring you in next. But Jez, what do you not think we will win the league this season? Then are you still doubtful? Yeah,
I'm cautious.
Same.
You know what I mean? We've been here, seen it, and done it before.
Yeah,
and not just under Arteta. We've done it with previous managers.
Yeah,
and it comes to this time of the year, and it all suddenly goes to rat shit. Now, I hope, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I hope Arteta does win it.
Of course.
I do. After all the money he has had and all the facilities he's had, but right now I'm a bit worried about it because of all the injuries we've got. And that can make a major problem in going on to win this title. And, if he throws it away at Southampton Saturday, right, I'll be very seriously pissed off. You guys know how much I love the FA Cup.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I've been to every cup final since 1971, right? And I would be very pissed off if he capitulates in throwing it in the bin. You know what I'm saying? And I'm come on, man. Yeah, we've got some big issues coming up, and it's going to be a tough day out. 8 o'clock Saturday night, right? We've got.
Yes, who are the two Arsenal players that have won it as a player and a manager?
Say again, mate. Sorry.
Who are the two managers? They won it the FA Cup as a player and as manager.
Well, Arteta's won.
Yeah.
Who's the other one?
George Graham.
And Terry Neal.
Yeah,
George
so
Graham.
Arteta and George Graham.
That's 3 there. It's actually 3.
Oh, sorry,
there.
you're just talking Arsenal. Sorry. Okay.
Who's the other one? Another Arsenal one.
Yeah, Terry Neal, Bertie Mee.
They won it as player and managers.
Terry Neal.
Terry Neal won it as player and manager. Did he?
He won it as a player as well. He's in the 71 squad.
And as a manager, wicked. So there's 3 of them. Good stuff.
Ask me another one.
Look,
I wanted you to say Arteta. I wasn't trying to catch you out. I wanted you to say Arteta.
You try this every fucking time with me to catch me out on the Arsenal history.
No, I've asked you that question about 3 or 4 times. That's why, Jez.
Fucking play games with me, fella. I roast you every time. All right.
let me ask Brandon to come.
Yes,
in,
I
man.
love you.
There's a lot of football been spoken, man. So what are you saying, Brandon? Talk to me.
What's the question, Dan?
There's not one anymore. There's not one. There's so much we brought up.
It's not one.
I'll let you come on, and I'll let you come in on some of the points, man. I was going to move it towards kind of Arsenal's potential cup defeat. Is that going to, derail our season? But I kind of feel like we've moved into that anyway, man. So I'll let you come in on any points you want previously, and look towards the segue to that question, man.
Yeah. For me, it's all eyes on Mikel Arteta. Saying it here, saying it now. I said previous stream that for the position that we was in prior to the cup final, I'd find it extremely difficult not to feel like it's a small failure to not win at least 2 trophies this season. Look at the position that we was in. And then the reason why I say it's all eyes on Mikel Arteta is because we've seen previously he's contributed largely to us not getting over the line and winning the league title. I can go back to when he decided to play Zinchenko at left back when there was no need to. I can go back to previous, decision making by the manager that has cost us, right? And the reason why I'm a little bit cautious on the same side as what Jez is and the same side as what Shane is with this is because when you look at what happened in the cup final, we have our way of playing. That's fair enough. It's got us to where we are now, but we're business end of the season. And sometimes you are going to come up against somebody who has your number tactically. And then it's up to you as the manager to do something different. At the end of the day, none of our attacking players have really performed and hit the heights this season. None of them. So it's down to the manager to get the best out of them, or to get the best out of this team to make sure we win games.
That's what we've asked him to do, like Thierry Henry said.
Absolutely.
We've asked him to find a way to win. And
Absolutely.
That's what he's doing.
Hang on, Dan. That's what he's doing at the moment. We haven't won anything yet. Yeah, because in the final, when it mattered, he failed. Yeah, let's just get it right. He failed. Yeah. We had our way of playing. It weren't working. It was clear to see it weren't working. He took far too long to change anything. And then rather than actually going for it in a cup final, when we're 2-0 down, he decided to sit 10 men behind the ball. Typical Mikel Arteta tactic.
And on top of that, Brandon, he should never have. And on top of that, he should never have played Kepa. But everyone told me he had to play because it's sentimental value.
Yeah. Where's D, by the way? Because I thought it was sentimental and integrity and all that lot. I wonder if it's integrity now. I wonder if we get to the cup final in the FA Cup, if D wants Kepa to play in the final.
He will play in the final.
Kepa will play. He will play Kepa.
He'll double down on that.
Absolutely. And this is the thing. He'll probably double down on that. And if it costs him another trophy, then again, we have one man to blame. But for me, it's not necessarily about the squad. Like, yes, there's players that are underperforming right now. Absolutely.
Brandon, go back to your point about it would be a small failure if we only won the Premier League. Like, only, just even saying that, I think it just sounds moronic, to be honest.
Dan,
if he said that at the start of the season, Dan, it would be, but not now when we're in.
At the start of the season, absolutely.
I told you last week. So now, for his success, you're going to knock him. So you don't want to go far.
I'm not knocking him. I haven't said anything like if he only wins the league, then he should be sacked.
You just said if we only win one trophy.
No. I said. No, Dan, you need to open your ears, mate. I said if we only win one trophy, then I would consider it a small failure, considering the position we were in terms of where we are in these trophies. We was in the final of the Carabao Cup. We all went into that final with chest. Let's just admit it right now. We all thought we was going to beat Man City. We got schooled, right? I expect us to get past Southampton. I know it's not going to be an easy game, but I expect us to get past Southampton. I'm expecting us to at least make a semi-final of the Champions League. So why should I not sit here and say, do you know what? With the time that the manager's had and the money that's been spent and look at the squad and everything else, he should at least be winning 2 trophies, in my opinion. Because I'd cut him a bit more slack, Dan, if he'd have been winning FA Cups along the way, if he'd have been winning League Cups along the way. But we've won nothing for 6 years. So that's why, for me, when you look at the position that Arsenal are in now, at the start of the season, I wouldn't have said this, but expectations change. I told you this last week. You know, for me, I would see it as a small failure. Now, if he only won the league, would I sack him? No.
What you're saying? If he only won the league,
hang on, Dan, listen. If he only won the league, would I sack him? No. Yeah.
Well, of course not.
Because of course it's a major trophy, and that's what we want. But still, I would be a little bit disappointed with the fact that Arsenal could have had
that's a chance
more than one trophy.
Trophies. Of course, look at our invincible team. I always look at that. People talk about 2006. We lost to a great Barcelona side. Controversy with the goals and all that, but they won the treble that year. They were unbelievable. They had World Ballon d'Or winners all over the gaff, right? So you look at the 2004 team of Arsenal. We went out to Man United in the FA Cup in the space of 6 days. Man United and Wayne Bridge, we all remember that. Chelsea. And that team should have won a Champions League or should have won the FA Cup that year. But we went unbeaten, so it's an invincible. So
Dan, I still feel disappointment about that season that we did.
Yeah, listen. So listen.
So that's all Brandon's saying. That's all Brandon.
No. But he said it'd be a small failure.
No.
You can say you'd be disappointed.
Yeah, but I see that season like that as well. I think that's a missed opportunity. That's a massive.
The year we went unbeaten, it was a failure. It wasn't a failure.
Let me ask you this.
It's more disappointment because I look back on that and go, we could have.
What does it a failure after winning the Premier League, which I can't.
You're just concentrating on one word. Like what we're saying is that when you're in that situation, not getting the set that you feel you should get, of course you're going to feel a little bit of disappointment. I still on my channel talk about that year, going, I'm so proud that we did the invincible season, that we won the league, but I do often look back at that and go, we would have got Monaco in the next round, and we would have won. So there's a small bit of disappointment there.
Let me just put it this way. In
2006, we were not the best.
So were you a little bit disappointed that we didn't do the treble?
Yes, of course. But
that's all he's saying. That's all he's saying.
No. He said it would still be a little bit of a failure. I would never dream of saying, but has the season been a failure?
So the wording is the exact same point he's making.
Hang on. Why has wording got anything to do with it? I see it as a small failure because we've had opportunity to win more than one trophy, and we probably should have done.
If someone says to you at the end of the season, Arsenal won the Premier League, how do you see this season? How do you rate it? You're going to say it's a bit of a failure.
Did you expect to beat Man City on Sunday? Because I certainly fucking did, and I'm a negative fan. Yeah. It didn't happen.
I thought we'd
So to me, we should be sitting here now with a Carabao Cup, and I fully expect us to go and win the league. So yes, for us to only win the league after being in this position, to me, is a small failure because we fucked it up at the final hurdle. And this is the thing. It's like
Liverpool lost the Carabao Cup final last year to Newcastle, and they went on to win the league. Do you think they care?
That's got nothing to do with us,
about it.
Liverpool have won multiple trophies in the last 6 years. We won nothing.
Was losing that final failure?
Hang on, we all said.
Yes, of course it was.
I know
that's a small little bit of failure at the end of the season. If we win
the league, then if you're doing the season as a whole, there's no way that
you just wipe it off. Then it doesn't matter.
No, but it's not. The season's not been a failure. If you
he didn't say the season was a failure. He said a little bit of failure. So if you have 4 things to go for, and one of them was a failure, and the other one's success, then that becomes a smaller failure. But it's still a small bit of failure.
Well, yeah, it's about wording. Listen. You could win a Premier League and a Champions League double, and you still failed in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, right?
That's
season was a major success.
Of course it was. Yeah.
And if we win the Premier League, it would be a major success because it feels like goalposts are already getting moved because
they're not getting moved.
Since the Premier League's on its way.
They're not getting moved.
Now it says we still got to go if it's only the Premier League. Now, if we don't win 2 trophies, it's a small failure. Not you, Shane, because you ain't said any of this, but a lot of other fans is what I'm hearing.
Okay, cool. Right, done. Potts. What did I say after Arsenal's summer transfer window? What did I say about our squad?
You said that Berta has given us the best chance.
Best chance to what? Compete on?
All 4 fronts.
All 4 fronts. Thank you very much. So, therefore, I expected Arsenal.
To win the Premier League, though. Liverpool were the champions and had just spent 450 million.
Yeah, I
We
never
weren't
said
even
we
the
were the favourites. I actually had Liverpool as the favourites. So the fact that
Everyone.
we've come in and let's just get real. Liverpool have fallen off a cliff this year, right? Absolutely fallen off. Nobody expected Liverpool to be as bad as what they are, right? And fair enough. We've taken the opportunity. We're top of the league right now. We're 9 points clear. Absolutely, yeah. And I fully expect
Oh no,
us to
hold on,
win
hold
this
on,
league.
Shane. Sorry, Brandon. Sorry. Why is that? Why are we top because Liverpool are falling off a cliff? I don't quite
That's not what
understand
I
that.
said. That's
No,
not what I said.
that's what it's. You said Liverpool falling off a cliff, and we've taken advantage. So it sounds like the reason why we're top is because Liverpool falling off a cliff. So where's our credit here? I don't quite
Quick
get
though.
that statement.
Hang on. This is mad. Everybody's getting on my case about fucking wording tonight. Strict though.
No, you're not praising it enough. You
At the
see.
beginning of the season, who did you think was going to win this league?
Man City.
Yeah, me
Man
too.
City. And
Yeah.
who do you think was going to finish behind Man City?
I don't remember that. I just know Man City had to win the league.
So after spending $500 million, I'm talking about Liverpool here. Did you not expect Liverpool to be at least second?
No, I had Liverpool to finish fourth on this same channel, on that same conversation. I got
Okay,
slated.
fair enough.
In fact, I had Liverpool to finish outside the top four. You
Yeah.
lot can go back and see that. But what I don't understand is, listen, I'm not trying to go back to semantics on words, but it just sounded like the reason why we are where we are is because Liverpool fallen off a cliff. Your
Now
word
that-
is we have
hang on.
taken advantage of that. Now there's 18 other teams, right? So I don't quite understand how Liverpool's failure is our success.
What are you talking about now? I've not said that.
No, that's my wording against your wording. Like, so it's go on, talk.
I'm a little bit confused here. I said that I expected at the beginning of this season Liverpool to win the league purely and simply because they won the league last year. They spent $500 million in the summer. I think majority of people sat there and thought, "Oh, this is probably Liverpool's to lose." Nobody expected them to be as poor as what they are right now.
I did.
We've took
I did.
advantage. We've took
I
advantage
did.
because we're a good. Hang on, we've took advantage because we're a good side anyway, and we finished second last season. Finished second the season before, and the season before that, whatever. Right? We took advantage of the fact that Liverpool have been terrible. Man City are not the same Man City, yeah, and we're still a team that has had players at this club for multiple years now, a manager at this club for multiple years now. We spent big money to make sure we had the squad, which is what was missing last season, yeah, because the injuries affected us from being able to challenge for a league, right? I'm not discrediting any of that. I'm sitting here saying, cool, we're 9 points clear right now. Excellent, fantastic, yeah. But now is where it matters. And now is where I'm going to be looking at the manager in particular, because yes, the players hold accountability. But like I said and explained before, the manager effed it up in the cup final. Yeah, he effed it up in the cup final. Yes, there was players that didn't turn up, and absolutely we should be getting on their case as well. But he effed it up in the cup final, and he was a big part of the reason why we didn't win the league in the previous 2 times that we challenged. And that's just a fact. So for me, all eyes on Mikel Arteta. All eyes on Mikel Arteta.
Okay. You just said now. Now is when it matters, bro. It's always mattered. It mattered against Tottenham. We got through that. It mattered against Chelsea. We got through that. It mattered against Brighton. Got through that. It mattered against Everton. Got through that. Every week it's always mattered. Now we need to stop this whole if he, it's all Mikel. I don't understand, right? We lost the cup final. There was various reasons. Mikel was one of that. I'm not saying he's free of criticism, but to just squarely
has to
be squarely blamed, because what I see is when Arsenal do well, it's the players, right? When Arsenal do bad, it's the manager. Where's the balance in all of this? Brandon.
What do you mean? Where's the balance in all of this?
Where's the balance? Arsenal do well. You've just said. Hold on a second. You've just said, yeah.
You asked me a question. I'm trying to answer you.
No, let me just clarify. Let me just add more. Yeah. You've just said like he's been responsible for the finish. We finished second in the last few seasons that he's challenged. Yeah. He had us challenging. Yeah. That's what he's done. Now, we didn't get over the line. It's various reasons. We've mentioned the injuries. If you want to go back even as far back and say the inexperience we had in the squad, also inexperience with him as a manager entirely. This is his 6th season as a manager. This isn't his 6th season as a manager in Arsenal. It's his 6th season as a manager in general. And I think pretty much for what he's doing at this stage, he's doing pretty okay. He's got us challenging. He's playing youth. He's brought on. He's beating metrics that everyone, for instance, he hasn't never got us to final, which is what everyone, guys on this panel, Jez, it said, well, Emery got us to final, even though we got slapped in that final. He got us to final now.
Can I just ask you something real quick? Because you just said about this is his 6th season as a manager.
Yeah.
What are you going to say next year? What's the excuse going to be next year? Oh, it's only his 7th season as a manager.
Next year, I'm tipping us to win the league now.
Yeah.
I'm tipping us to win the league now. So we're going to win the league this season.
I think we'll win the league. I've not said that.
So it's not going to. So what's that? What relevant is his 7th season?
What you've just said is that you're going to be looking at Mikel Arteta. It's all on him. So when we do eventually win it, if we do, it's all on him again, right?
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Fair
He's
play.
got, at the end of the day, fair play. Because I think, Stricto, you need to maybe watch me a little bit more, mate. Because throughout the season, I have actually been quite praiseful with Mikel Arteta when needed, and critical, of course. But the whole reason why I say all eyes on the manager, we've got players that are not performing. Right? We've got big players that are not performing right now. Bukayo Saka, Trossard and Martinelli are much of a muchness. The midfield in that cup final really let us down. Yeah, really let us down. He got found out in a way because Declan Rice refuses to play a forward pass. Zubamendi's very sideways. And Pep just went, right, apply the pressure then, boys. Don't press them from the back.
Are these the manager's instructions? I want to know. Is this what Arteta says before the game's kicked off? All right, boys, more sideways passing, more backwards passing.
He is very controlling of the players.
I want to understand.
He is very hands-on with the players, very hands-on with the way they play.
No, but I need to know this. I need to know this as a fact rather than an opinion. I need to know this as a fact rather than an opinion.
We only have opinions. How can we know it as a fact? That's impossible.
Let me answer this strictly. Right?
Go ahead.
Eze at Crystal Palace. Compare him to Eze at Arsenal. Is he the same Eze as what was at Crystal Palace? And I don't want to hear about
we've had this conversation a million times.
I don't want to hear about
We've had this conversation a million times. That's why you're saying that. Because the truth is, it is expectations. What's the expectation at Crystal Palace? Second of all, Eze's position at Crystal Palace and Eze's position at Arsenal. At Arsenal, you're supposed, in this current system and the system Arteta is running, you're supposed to cook, clean, and iron. Yeah, in Arsenal, drive the car. But at Crystal Palace, all Eze had to do was just be there. You had the maid there, you had the cleaning staff there doing everything for him. But at Arsenal, you've got to do the work. It's just what it is. It's a different responsibility. That's what it is.
I don't disagree with that.
Should we not have the ball forward?
I'm simply saying to you, yeah, look at Eze and how he plays as a player. Forget expectation, all that bollocks, whatever else. Look at how he played as a player at Crystal Palace. Does he do the same thing at Arsenal now? Do you ever see, for example, Eze pick up the ball and drive at players? Ever?
At Arsenal? Yeah, I have seen it.
Yeah, but how often compared to what he used to do?
It's not. I won't lie to you. Eze, when I watched Eze play for Crystal Palace, I didn't watch every game. I watched highlights. You know, and that's exactly what they are. They highlights. They show the best parts of your game. Now, most of my Crystal Palace mates have told me, bro, what you see with Eze now is what we see at Crystal Palace. I know that Crystal Palace is my local team. Like I got mates that told me that. Like what we're seeing now, they say it's exactly how he played at Crystal Palace.
Okay, how many wingers has Mikel Arteta signed in his time at Arsenal?
I don't know. You told me.
I don't know either, but I'm going to hazard a guess at say 3, 4, maybe 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you ever see any of them put a cross in the box for first time? How many different players, play on the wing for Arsenal or have played on the wing for Arsenal? And how many times do we see them get to the byline, go backwards, get to the byline, play it off the opposition for a corner. Yeah, same
It's
thing.
mainly the left side, but
So
the right side doesn't
the
really have
point that
that
I'm
issue.
making is if these
Mm.
players had actual freedom to go out there and play how they wanted to play, yeah. This is why, for me, again, it comes back to the manager, because the manager is the guy who sets out how we play and what we do individually on the pitch and in terms of the as being a team. Because, you know, the whole
Listen,
system has got us
you
to where we are now, right?
You asked me a question about Eze. I gave you an answer. The ones who
Yeah.
watch him week in, week out have said it's exactly the same Eze. You've now shifted the goalpost to another question. Like your main frame of argument was Eze and how the difference between Eze at Palace and Eze at Arsenal. Now, I don't know how much you watch Crystal Palace. I guess you don't watch them as often as you watch Arsenal. But Crystal Palace fans are telling me it's exactly the same Arsenal. Exactly
My
the same
main frame of argument is that the manager has full control over everything that we do on that pitch, individually and as a collective. That's why it's all eyes on him. Because if I wasn't being truthful about that, then why would we not play to Vic Gyokeres' strengths?
Players have said it, Brendan. Players have said that they don't do anything without his go ahead.
So it's all eyes on him.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm with you.
It is micromanaged. It is 100%.
He is micromanaged.
Not just all
Brendan,
eyes
have you
on
ever
him.
played football, Brendan?
Yeah, of course I have.
To what level?
I wouldn't say a very high level, but
all right.
Yeah.
For instance, you played Sunday League. I imagine.
Sunday League.
Yeah,
You played Sunday League. Yeah?
I played for a team before as well. Yeah.
All right. Sunday League. Yeah, the lowest probably level. Yeah. When your manager instructs you, Brendan, left back, centre back, stay tight to your man. Cool. You get on the pitch, you stay tight to your man. You win. You still have to do what comes natural to you, instinctive to you. So regardless of what your manager says to you, you still have freedom to do what you're doing in a moment and in a moment when something changes, right? Right.
But this is why.
How is this then the manager's fault if I decided to head of the ball?
What's the point in a manager?
Hang on. That's perfect. That's a perfect analogy, because what we're doing as a team is what comes natural to us, which is what has been installed in us by the manager. So anytime anything gets difficult for Arsenal on the pitch, what do? We don't go all out attack. We sit 10 men behind the ball and we try and defend. And 9 times out of 10, that costs us in games. That
four losses all season. Four losses all season. I'm not even trying to hear that, bro.
I'm not talking about 4 losses.
I'm talking about all season.
We have dropped points in games this season where we've decided to sit back, and not attack and not do our job. I.e. Liverpool, i.e. when we was 2-0 up against Wolves, etc., etc. I could go on and on. The point is every time Arsenal decide to do this, right, we end up either dropping points or losing games. What do we do in the cup final in that second half? Oh, we drop deep. We let Man City come on to us, and we had nothing for them, no answers for them in that second half whatsoever. That, for me, comes down to the manager, because then it's up to the manager now to look at that team and go, this ain't working. We're under a lot of pressure here. We need to change something. I.e., for example, in that second half, Arsenal's biggest problem was we had no outlet. Right? And the manager decides to bring on other players before bringing on Martinelli, right? Who, for me, again, is not a great player. I want rid of him in the summer, etc. But he will at least be an outlet for you on the pitch. Now, he did come on and he ran the ball straight out of play, right? Fair enough. He had a shocker as well as everybody else. And
so is that the manager? By your logic, that's the manager's instruction.
What?
Right? Run the ball out of the pitch, because the manager micromanages everything, right? So Martinelli, you come on. I want you to run the ball out.
No, that's different to telling
that is the logic.
Passes. No, because
that is the logic, right?
Okay,
let's
run it back. I'm talking about tactically now, because at this stage of the season, we're not going to have comfortable games. We're not. You can look at our fixtures and go, oh yeah, we're 9 points clear. We'll win that game, win that game, win that game. I guarantee you it's not as easy as that. I look at Bournemouth at home, for example. Everybody expects us to win that game because it's at home. It won't be as easy as what you think. And it'll be a bit squeaky bum time like what it was against Everton. Now, yeah, Mikel Arteta deserves full praise for bringing on Max Dowman against Everton, because Max Dowman created the goal that Victor Gyokeres scored that won us the game ultimately. And he scored the goal to make it 2-0 when Everton were chasing the game. We're going to have more games like that from now until the end of the season. It's just, is the manager going to get it right tactically and bring on the right personnel to make sure we don't drop points in these games?
Well, why is that even a question?
I don't have full confidence in him doing that.
I don't understand how it can be the question. You're 9 points clear, top of the table, and you're now questioning.
I don't have full confidence in him doing that, because I've seen previously him fail at doing that. And I've also seen recently in the cup final, for example, him fail to do that again. And this is the point that I'm getting to. 9 points clear. I still think we will win the league. I'm saying that here and now. I still think we will win the league. I don't think Man City will win all their games. I think they've got too much to do. And I think we will win enough games to make sure we win the league. However, if it goes tits up, best believe I am looking at one man. One man.
So if it goes tits up, it will.
Go on, last word, Rico. Let me move after that. Go on.
Okay, I just need to. Okay, Arsenal winning the league this season, like you said, like you think we will win the league, right? I believe so. And if we don't, if we win the league, what's that down to then? Is it down to, because I've heard several conversations over the internet by Arsenal fans. Is it because Arsenal were good and we did what we had to do, or is it because everyone else was so shit and there's been the worst title race the worst title race?
I'll answer this. So there's a mix of two. I think everybody else has just not been consistent, not shown the consistent levels of previous years. Right? We like I said, we weren't expecting Liverpool to be so poor. We knew Man City were in a transitional period. Man United were crap last year and we're only going to get better. Tottenham was shit. Yeah, Chelsea. Who knows with Chelsea? They're up and down managers, and they don't know who's coming in the door, who's going out the door, etc., right? But if we win the league, of course, Mikel Arteta should get credit, because as boring as we have been to watch this season, and it has been like watching paint dry, right? If he goes and wins the league playing that style, I'll say fair play to you, because at the end of the day, this year for Arteta is all about winning. Doesn't matter how you do it. Yeah, don't matter how. We tried the sexy football. We tried the pragmatic style. Now we're doing this, which isn't pleasing on the eye. Yeah, we're scoring a lot of goals from set pieces, etc., But if he wins the league playing that way, then I'll say fair play. Yeah, you can't go and play this way again next season. No chance. Yeah,
but it's almost crazy that this way of playing. Some people almost talk about it like this is the only way we've played. If anything, Arteta has shown me that he has different ways to play. We have been so fluid over the years. This is probably the worst in terms of aesthetics that I've seen us play, and I agree with you. It's not been pleasing, but it's been effective. But it's also shown he can play different free-flowing football. He's shown that. That's how we've played. This season in itself is an anomaly in how we're playing, but it needs to be this way. It needs to be this way because
I agree with what you've just said. Right, I think if I'm honest, Arteta's actually adapted and shown ways in which he can play. He started three at the back, Tierney and Lewis lumping it long to Aubameyang. He then went to more of a fluid style. We won 9 points clear. We obviously bottled it that year. Then he become more rigid. Now it's become more compact and more trying to win by set pieces. I don't really care, though, if I'm honest. And I don't mean that to sound rude.
As long as we win at the end of it.
It ain't won anything. All these ways he's adapted, we haven't been able to go get across the line. So for me now, if he finds a way that gets us across the line, which I think we will with everybody, I think we'll win the league this season. I think if we don't, it's a disgrace. It's a capitulation, right? Again. So we now need to. And if it is that way, I do not care how we play. Now, long term, I might. Yeah, if you said to me, you're going to watch this for the next 10, 15 years, I might struggle.
Hell no.
However,
hell
if
no.
it gives me 10, 15 trophies, I don't really care. So for me, I just need to see Arsenal winning. And I agree with you that he's going to adapt, but I need him to get across the line with it now. And I don't care if that's what way he does it. I just need him to get across the line, man. But I want to move and bring the others in. So, Strict, what was you going to say last, just quickly to end on this? Go on.
Do you know, I forgot, you know.
It's in too much, man. That's what it is.
I forgot.
Listen, let me bring Jez and Kenny in with this lastly before we close. This question, Kenny, I'll start with you, then I'll bring Jez in. Will the FA Cup and Champions League fixtures get in the way of Arsenal's title hopes? Now, the way I'm talking, I mean, me and you, Kenny, have spoken about this with Chris Hudson. A lot of people are talking about quads. Now it's turned into a treble. Some are saying it doesn't matter. Some are saying it might be a double, not a treble. And some are saying just give me the league. Are these games going to get in the way, or do you think the squad can compete on the all three fronts now, right to the end?
No, the squad. To be honest, we've got to be honest with ourselves. We got a lot of injuries. Players running on empty. We know factually the manager's going to play, like I said, a week in 11 against Southampton because he's done it in every competition in the FA, every game in the FA Cup. So that's a given. You know, when you've got injuries to Eze now, and you know you're not sure about Saka's fitness. There's rumours that he's got an injury now. Madueke, you saw what's happened with England. He went off with an injury. Declan Rice, we think, is running empty. We think Zubimendi's tired. Circumstances won't allow us to sort of like prioritise all three tournaments. It's just factual. As much as we would like to, and I've got respect for everyone who's got a ticket for Southampton. I know how much the FA Cup means. It means a lot to me, but because of where we are in this cup this season, I think that an increased fixture list, which is going to happen, isn't going to help us. In fact, the thing that's not going to help us is that rearranged fixtures, like if we get to an FA Cup semi-final or get to an FA Cup final. We'll play those games because it's nice to win trophies. Winning's nice. It's heartbreaking to lose football matches. But realistically, you have to look at the injuries we've got, the injuries that we've had where players are not fully fit. Something's going to have to give. And team selection in basically the FA Cup will be there will be sacrifices made in the FA Cup. In terms of the Champions League, that's a competition that we need to win. We want to win. But the Champions League is second in the list. The league's the alpha and omega, and then the FA Cup's third. But with the injuries, he's not going to play a full side against Southampton.
Kenny, sorry to interrupt you, mate. You said this team's built better to win the Champions League than the Premier League.
Oh no, it's a league I want more for it. Look, I'm not going to lose any. I would love to win the Champions League. I was crying my eyes out like everyone in Paris 20 years ago. But I need this league more than anything else because I still think the league's the alpha and omega. You have to. If you don't win the league,
was 20 years ago.
If you don't win a league, I'm sorry, you can't call yourself the best team in Europe. I'm sick and tired of seeing teams finish fourth and get to a Champions League when teams from other associations have to go to a qualifying tournament when a team that finishes fourth, 20 points behind their leaders, have the audacity to call themselves the champions of Europe. I think it's a nonsense. The Champions League final in 2019 between Liverpool and Spurs was a nonsense. Both those teams finished 25 points, if not more, 25 points, if not more, less behind the leaders, Man City. And they contested the Champions League final. It's a joke. That's why, for me personally, I always put the league up there because I think you've got to be the best. You've got 38 disciplines, derbies, home and away, London derbies. Then you've got to go to Anfield, Dickinson Hall Stadium, the Etihad, all those big stadiums, Old Trafford, and then to come out the other side and win the league. I think that's one of the best achievements.
Can I just quickly ask you, Kenny, before I bring Jez in? Can I just quickly ask you one very simple question? Do you believe this team is capable of taking the other competitions seriously and still winning the league, or do you think it's incapable?
Look, I would like to be proven wrong, but yeah, I can guarantee you now, come Saturday, he won't be playing a strong team against Southampton.
No, I agree with that. Let me ask you, Jez.
Can I ask a quick question, Ken? Has Arteta used the squad to its full capacity in terms of rotation?
No, not even close.
I think Arteta's the only person who doesn't believe we got the best squad in the country, because if he did, he would have used his utility players a lot better and more.
Like Norgard and Lewis Skelly, you mean?
And that's why it's all eyes on one man.
We think we got the best squad in the country, but the manager doesn't believe that, because if he did, he wouldn't be rigid in terms of his team selections and the personnel he plays. And the fact that only that personnel seems to be only to represent the team. It seems like certain personnel only play because of extenuating circumstances, i.e. injuries, where you just can't play our players. Which I hope it works out for him, and I hope the football works out for him as an Arsenal fan. But unfortunately, because he's the alpha and omega, the football's a bastard of a pastime. He will get the rotten tomatoes. But if he wins the league, I have to be true to my footballing self. He stuck two fingers up to everyone who says we play crap football because he's done it his way, and it'll be his triumph because it's his players, and he's entitled to go up to me and say, "Look, up yours, mate. I've done it my way. What are you going to, suck on that?" Good luck to him, man. I hope he does tell me that. I really hope he does, because I want the league badly.
Yeah.
Of course, listen, I don't deny that. Jez, what are you saying about these multiple competitions? You obviously said at the start that you believe we should be winning more than one. Do you think the squad's capable of competing with more than one?
Well, it should be. But unfortunately, it looks like now we've got like 10, 11 injuries. That's not good. That is not good. And that gives me big concerns. I love the FA Cup. Yeah, it was the first cup final I ever went to, and I just love it. It's something about it. It's a romantic thing for me, and I'll be going down to Southampton, and if we don't win that, I'll be very, very, very upset. But look, come on. The year we won the FA Cup against Man United, we played 80 games. Right, and we got it over the line. But I know football back then was a different era, and you can't compare it with now. It's a much more, I don't know, athletic game, may I say. But the thing is, what we're witnessing here is the fact that we had a fantastic squad to a certain point. I'm not saying everyone was. But I don't think this manager has utilised the players in the right way, in the fact that we're now looking at injuries that have come on, with players being cooked. People call it playing in the red zone. I'm not technically gifted enough to know about these things, but we're seeing players now limping. They're not running right. They're not playing right. They look knackered. And this worries me. Yeah, look, come on. I want Arsenal to win everything.
Yeah.
Right? I want that. I love this club. I don't love the manager. I don't hate him. I've never met the man. I never want to meet him, and I never will meet him. But at the end of the day, I just don't think he plays it the right way for me. And we're going to get found out in the next 8 to 9 weeks. Fact. If he can get it over the line, well done, fantastic. Fuck off, Nelson, you twat, you're my little. And at the end of the day, he's a little twat, that guy. And you know what I mean?
Seamless.
Manager wins the FA Cup, the Premier League. Well done, fantastic. If he won the Champions League, even better. And I've said, and I'll say it again, if he wins that Champions League, right, and the other trophies, give him a fucking statue. And I stand by that. Because at the end of the day, no other manager, Arsenal manager, Champions League.
Jez, let me ask you a question.
Go on, mate.
Where did you have us in December to be? Where did you have us to be in December and January?
I don't get you, mate. What do you mean?
So in December, I'm not sure whether it was you or Shane. I think I was on a show. One of you guys, you feel free to interject if you want. said we wouldn't be top of the table.
I thought City would be top come the end of January. Yeah,
Right. So okay,
they were for about 24 hours, but yeah, no, I got that one wrong. I thought City would win the league. You thought City would win the league as well, though.
Yeah, I started the season with City winning the league. Obviously, when the season started, things changed. But yeah, no, I just wanted. So it was you that said it, Shane. Not
It was
not
me.
Jez.
I thought City would be ahead come the end of January. Yeah,
All right.
they
What
did
about you,
close the
Jez?
gap. They did close the gap.
What about you, Jez? Where did you have us? Like,
Well, we were top of the league, so I said that we could potentially go on and win the league.
right. So what I'm trying to ask is, like, you saying we're gonna get found out, and the reason why I mentioned that is I think a lot of people have said that from about December up until even now. I don't understand what the found out in what way. We've played how many games this season? 50 odd games, 4 defeats. I don't know where the finding out is. Like, we've been pretty consistent, and one thing we have shown actually over the season is every time we have lost each of those games, we've gone on a run. So, if anything, it's actually shown us maybe a defeat has been a kick up the backside for us.
It's not just about defeats though, Strict though. We can draw too many games. We can draw too many games and lose the league. That's the thing. And we have shown this season that when we draw one game, it tends to follow into the following week and then the following week. We've gone on a run this season where we drew 4 or 5 games in a row. So it's not about the defeats. It's just about dropping points in general.
And then losing when it's a final or a semi-final. That's that's the problem. But even with the draws thing, like up until about 3 weeks ago, AC Milan had lost 1 game in Serie A and they were 8 points off the top. Inter had lost 5 and they were 8 points clear because Milan had just drawn too many. So that's where we got caught out with that last season as well. Draws are just almost as damaging.
Tail end of this season, like I've mentioned before, if you'd have asked most of you guys, bottom gooners as I call you lot, you lot would have said,
snap your hand off. Snap your hand off for where we are. Yeah.
Fella, you ain't a gooner. You don't even know what a gooner is. All right?
No, but Strict, yeah, would have snapped your hand off at the end of the season. Yeah.
You were never
point I'm trying to make. Point I'm trying to make here. What was that, Jez?
You were never there in the gooner days.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
No, he's calling us, Jez.
He's calling us bottom gooners.
He's calling us bottom gooners because we call him top gooners. He's joking. He's mucking around with us.
What was a gooner?
What are you talking about?
What was a gooner back in the day?
You told me. You said I wasn't there.
No, you weren't there, were you?
Tell me.
The gooners were the fucking firm, mate. Came from the herd. So don't give me all that bullshit. And this is the thing that fucks me off.
No, he's mucking around.
He's just calling us bottom gooners because we call them top gooners.
Piss, mate. Don't take the piss.
No, he's not. He's not taking the piss, Jez.
Jez, what are you talking? What are you talking about?
No, he's mocking.
Your guy left. Your guy left with again. What are you talking? What are you actually talking about?
It's just misunderstanding. That's all it is. It's just
literally everyone's. Dan's told you right now. I'm having a laugh, and you're still pushing it to the next something else.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
This, mate. You weren't part of it. So shut up.
You see, you're doing it. You see, you're doing this again. But if I respond, Stricto's the disrespectful guy again. You're telling me. Do you know what? I'm gonna be the grown up.
Respect the real gooners.
I'm gonna move past it, Jez. I'm gonna ignore you. Just told me to shut up again.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave up.
No, you're showing disrespect to the real.
Right, let's not go down this road. Let's not go down this road.
Disrespect.
What was
Jez? What are you gonna do about it, Jez? I don't understand. All this rah. What are you rah-rahing for?
Let's move. Let's calm. Let's move that. Let's move.
Anyway, my point being,
what was your point you were making, Street?
My point I was trying to say, yeah, like if you'd have asked the bottom gooners, you guys, yeah, how many points we would have accumulated out of Brighton, Tottenham, Chelsea, Everton. I'm sure you guys would have thrown a few draws in there.
Yeah.
I think that's. But the thing is everyone in the
But
fan
we wouldn't have
base.
thrown in draws with Wolves and with Forest and with Liverpool at home.
You know what it is though.
We would have
You
said
have to
wins for
admit-
that. You know what I mean? So
What I
No, but
would
the reason
say-
why I mention it is because the games I've just mentioned are a lot closer to the end of the season than, let's say, the Forest, Wolves to a certain extent actually, because that was before the Tottenham game. I think if my memory serves me right. So okay, cool, you can dash that in. But point being, I know you guys are talking about we've drawn too many, and there's all those games that I've just listed, potential point droppers there, but we've managed to actually maximize while actually not playing to our full potential. Even in the cup final, I don't even think we even played. I think we were terrible, but I also think
did you have us to win?
What, the cup final?
Mm.
Yeah, I did. And
Right.
here's what I'm saying. Even the cup final, for instance, I don't even think we even played our normal, what you want to call negative football. I just don't think we didn't do anything in that cup final. I didn't think we were good.
That's
why they haven't found Arteta out tactically. That's why.
Straight away, it took him 15 minutes to do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
We just didn't play our game, and our game isn't necessarily like I said before, the nicest to watch. But we just cool. You made an example.
We got bullied in that final.
We didn't have an outlet, right? So Martinelli
got bullied in that final.
Martinelli comes on. He gives the ball away. Ball goes out for a throw. Saka we're soaking the pressure. The ball goes to Saka. Saka can't quite hold the ball, and it happens.
Why did he
more
stay
than
on for
once.
90 minutes then, Stricto? Why did Saka stay on for 90 minutes? Why would we still have four at the back? Wait, come the final whistle. You know what I mean? We shit the bed in that game. Let's be honest about it. All of us can say that.
My point being, overall, we're having this conversation. It's almost like Arsenal are fifth, just been knocked out of every competition. Everything's going shit. The fan base is turning on the manager, the players. I've never quite understood what's going on.
We'll say a load of compliments, and then the one negative thing we say is what you're clinging on to. It's okay to say that we've been surprisingly good this season, but we shit the bed in the final. It's okay to say that because it's true. It's just the way it is.
Two things can exist. The two things can exist, can coexist. Like, we were shit in the final, and we've been good everywhere else. Yeah, the two things can exist, and in most cases, that is the truth. Because we were horrible in that final. But what I'm saying is the doom and gloom. Because when I sit here listening to you lot talking, I'm almost affected by the doom and gloom, and I have to just remind myself, hold on, what's going on here? Like, we've got Southampton. We're going to beat Southampton. We've got Bournemouth. That's going to be a tricky game, but we can pass that game. And I don't quite understand it.
So you know what it is. It's squeaky bum time. That's what it is. We've never been in a position for a long time where we're in a contention winning these trophies. And what we've seen over the last few years, and it happens in football, especially teams that get close but not close enough. That's the situation. Plus, we've got the injuries where players are not playing at the best of their ability. But what we have, and you've got a point that I will never disagree with you on. We do have that cushion where there is a little margin for error because Man City are not at their best. But at the end of the day, we've got to celebrate the title when it happens. But if we, as football people, there's going to be a situation where next year, the year afterwards, we are going to want to see like attractive football. We're going to want the managers to move the dial in that direction because we've seen with Arsenal teams, forget other teams. What we want from Arsenal, we want Arsenal to finally retain the title. We want Arsenal going to dominate. Even under Wenger and George, we've never really gone to dominate. If you look at Arsenal's history, we've spent a lot of years in our history without trophies, and we don't want to happen again. We can't miss this opportunity, not just to win the league, but to dominate. This is where a lot of the naysayers like yourself are thinking, hang on here, we could do more than this. And that's why we're always going to hold the club to account. That's the nature of beast at Arsenal. We're a big club. We can't say we're not a big club and not have demand that we got to win every game. That's the way things got to be. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with us being entitled. You've got to be entitled. I want you to be entitled, Streako. I want you to, smash the door in if we lose. I love that.
Yeah, and I do. And Ken, I do. Listen, I think for me, if Arsenal don't win the league this season, I think you guys are going to be cool. in terms of not like you're going to be cool. Arsenal don't win the league, but you're going to be cool in terms of like everyone's going to say, "Well, I sort of said that we're not going to win the league." I get the pelters.
This is different. This is different.
No, I get the pelters, like my DMs, the comments, like, did the Arteta's fanboy and all that kind of stuff. And then if Arsenal win the league, some people in here will get the pelters back the other way. It's just the nature of it. Do you get what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is, go on.
What I'm trying to say, you're wrong in this situation. I'm telling you, everyone there, we don't win this league. None of us will ever get over it, because this is, you can't keep on getting disappointment and then not lose hope. This is our best chance to win the title because we got this significant point advantage. If we don't win it now, you will never get over it. I will never get over it. I'll challenge you. Your podcast, you don't mind me saying, your podcast and your so you watch along, will be a pile of shit, because it'll have no passion, because you'll be giving up. Seriously, us winning this league is going to affect you so badly, you won't even realise it. But trust me, we don't
even think about it, man.
And if we do win the league, win the league, us bottom gooners, as you call us, we ain't going to give a shit about people in our DMs, because we just won the league.
Yeah, so, that's what I'm saying. It's a win for bottom gooners. It's almost a win-win. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a win.
Like people are so obsessed, I think, as well, and then more, and then it's not either side, as people like to call it. I think more people are worried about how they might look as opposed to what it actually means. So what I mean by that is, if we go win the league, there's a lot of people that are now, and this is both sides, by the way, that might look like a bit of a wally here. I've had a right bloody go at Arteta. And then at the same time, if we don't win the league or we don't win anything, then there's going to be those that have really backed him that are like, I'm going to look like an idiot again. I've bloody looked like an idiot for 5 years. Now make that 6. He's not won anything again. I think we've just got to let this play out. What will be, will be. I think we'll win the league. I don't think there's anybody in it that doesn't think we'll win the league. I might be wrong. We might not win the league. We might not. I've got not.
Bro.
But we have to. We must. That's what I do. We must. Like it must. We must. But let me just do these supers because they've been in for quite some time. I need to respect the chat. Big up to all of you. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and you're following every single one of these guys. All of their social media handles and YouTube channels are on screen. So make sure you're following every single one of these people. Kay says our most important game is Bournemouth. A win gives us the freedom to play the freely against City. That style gives us the best chance to beat them. Big up to you. I really appreciate that.
By the way,
what's there to say? Go on, Brandon.
Sorry, Dan. Just on that, right? We need to see a response from these players against Man City at the Etihad.
Facts.
Don't want to see that same shit we see in the final. They need to respond, especially after the way we got battered.
None of this, let's not go and lose. Go and beat him at the Etihad. I'm sick and tired of this, we don't need to lose. Or that. No, just go and beat them. Just like Mark Overmars did at Old Trafford in 98, just like Will Todd did at Old Trafford in 2002. Let's go and win at the Etihad, man. Let's go do it.
No, listen, there's a message, 100%. Sorry, Dan.
Go on, Street.
100%. We have to go to Etihad and make a statement. The game was unacceptable. No one there should ever felt that was the standard needed to play for the Arsenal. Forget even winning, because if lost my train of thought. But you go to the Etihad, and you have to, in their backyard, assert dominance.
Facts.
To make a point that I believe at that point will show us where Arsenal need to be for the coming seasons. 100%. The transfer of the shift of power, the transfer of power should happen at the Etihad. I'm not happy about losing the cup final, but I can't lie to you, that will all be forgiven if we go to the Etihad and smash them and get 3 points.
We beat them in the Etihad and we win the league. Of course, it will be forgiven. Yeah, we've lost finals before. We've got to go win this league, though, man. What's there to say? Says it's more to do with how Arteta runs players into the ground, the lack of player welfare. We did mention that. Big up to you. User says, if we only win the Premier League, I want him gone. He's with Jez. My reason, the style of play won't change. It doesn't matter what players we bring in. The system will not change. Gyokeres scores everywhere except at Arsenal. It's a system problem. I respect your opinion and thank you for the super chat. And we've also got a couple of legends here. We've got a new member, Saka Laka Boom Boom. Absolute legendary name as well. Thank you so much for the membership. And the biggest legend of the night, Prome, you are a hero. You've gifted 20 memberships. That is insane. No one's ever gifted that many before. Thank you so much. You've got a lot of love in the chat. A lot of people appreciating you. And of course, we do here at 12 Man. Thank you so much. We've got another few people that aren't happy with Mikel Arteta. But we do have Suj back in the house. Big up to you, Suj. I hope you're well, bruv. Says big up Dan, panel and chat. Hit the likes and subscribe. Make sure you follow the panel. Apologies for being late. You never need to apologize, bro. Thank you so much.
No abuse for me from Suj. So I think that's the first super chat he's ever put in where he hasn't abused me, man. I love a bit of Suj, man. Suj on a legend.
We love Suj, man. We absolutely love him. And any super chat that is slagging off any of the panel, I won't be reading it out. But thank you very much for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Listen, to close, I just want a prediction for the Southampton game, and then we'll get out of here. Jez, I'll start with you, mate. What are you saying?
I'm going 2-0 Arsenal. I'm positive. It's the FA Cup. I hope to see you guys there as well. And looking forward to it. Another away day. And yeah, I'm positive. I think we're going to win 2-0.
Okay, Brandon?
I'm going to go 2-0 as well. I think we'll get by. I actually think that these injuries are not necessarily injuries. We could have done ourselves a favour here. I actually, Dan said it yesterday. I heard that apparently Arteta even instructed Max Dowman to pull out a PE. It's got that bad now. So yeah, 2-0 to the Arsenal. Come on, let's get this one done, and hopefully we can make another final in another competition.
Let's hope so, man. Kenny?
I'm going to go I think it's going to be like Mansfield, 2-1 Arsenal, though, because I think we just got a little bit more quality, a little bit more match winners. But yeah, the only thing's guaranteed, Max Dowman's going to start the game, he's going to finish it, and we're going to have a scratch side, but that should be good enough to win on Saturday.
Okay, Shane?
Yeah, I'm with Kenny. I think 2-1. I think we will concede. I'm pretty sure Kepa will play. Not that it will just be down to him, but I'd slightly disagree with Brandon on the injuries. All these players that were recalled were sent home, but they will play against Sporting, even though they are injured. But they were injured going on international duty. That was my point. Was saying these players were assessed by international physios who went, no, you're not fit for purpose. Go home. And we've seen that before at Martinelli with Brazil. We've seen it with England, with Saka, with Rice. Another physio takes a look and goes, you're not fit for purpose. You need to go home. But then they will still play against Sporting, because injured for other managers is different to injured for this guy. This guy is, if you can walk, you play. And that's a big criticism of him that I've always said, and I'm not going to back down. I think he plays players into the ground. But the players that have been sent home, Rice, Saka, Timber, all these guys, they'll still play against Sporting. But whether they play against Southampton, I don't know. Some of them will have to make up the numbers. But I wouldn't want them to make too many changes, because I'm with Jez. I love the FA Cup. I think it's massive. But 2-1, I think we'll win 2-1.
Okay, love that. Strict?
I think we'll win 1-0. I think we'll be like a 80th minute goal. 1-0 Arsenal.
Okay. I hope we go through. I'm not going to give my prediction. I don't want to end it. I don't want to end it that way. I'm not going to give my prediction. You can all probably do the maths yourself to work out what I'm about to say. So I'm just going to say nothing. Okay. I'm going to say nothing. Kenny knows, because I told him with Chris and Russ, I am very worried about this game, and I'll leave it there.
Okay.
So
that might be flying to Morocco again straight after that.
I might be going to Morocco after this FA Cup game. Yeah.
Too much money, man. Too much money. Too much money.
Ain't that, bro? Ain't that?
Too much money, bro. Too much money.
I
bet you've got a globe, and you just spin it, and you just slap your finger, and then just
I'm spinning it and going stop.
Yeah.
I wish. Yeah, you're right. I'm always worried. I am always worried going into games. That's what it is. I'm always worried, but that's the way the club's made me, unfortunately. And I won't say much more. All I'm saying is Southampton, they haven't lost at home since I think December, and they knocked Fulham out of Craven Cottage. It is no mugs that we're coming up against. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Look, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a really good show. Big up to every single one of you. Big up to all you guys for listening. All you guys listening on audio, all you guys listening on catch up. Please make sure you do me a favor and hit like and subscribe. People are forgetting to do that a lot of late, not just on this video, but on everyone's channels. I don't know why, but YouTube has made it a lot harder now for people to remember to hit like and subscribe. So please make sure we do that, because that is the bare minimum that we'd expect. A lot of these people are taking up their time, and big up to every single one of them. Make sure you're following Jez Arsenal. Make sure you're following True Gunners TV with Brandon. Make sure you're following Kenny Ken on all social media, and Shane Gooner likewise on YouTube. And of course, we got Stricto in the house. Stricto Strict on all YouTube and social media platforms, TikTok, the lot. And yeah, we're going to send you over to the Highbury squad where Albert's talking with Demian about the women's game, who of course big up to the Arsenal ladies who have gone through. So we're going to go and send you over there so you can have a chat with them. We're out of here, people. Laters. Big up to you all.
Take care, all.